If you've been following the crypto markets, you know Bitcoin just popped off, touching $47,000 and climbing nearly 8% in one day. So what is the catalyst for all this? Well, you may think it's just the Bitcoin ETF news that is driving all of this, but I believe there's some other things in play that you want to pay attention to. And what are the altcoins doing, especially XRP? And if this Bitcoin ETF is actually going to get put through, what is the value of Bitcoin going to be? We're going to be discussing what these giant ETF applicants are doing, how much institutional money could flow into cryptocurrencies, and what the SEC's chairman, Gary Gensler, has to say about all of it. Hey everyone, my name is Randy. Welcome back to the Late Night Grind, and right now on this channel we are covering cryptocurrency news, investment markets, and personal finance. So if any or all those topics interest you, go ahead, hit that subscribe button, join the Late Night Grind community. If you do a couple things, I'd appreciate it. Smash the thumbs up button and watch this video all the way to the end. If you do that, I'd greatly appreciate it. All right, guys, let's jump into it. So $47,000 is currently what Bitcoin is sitting at price-wise. It had a little bit of a consolidation, a pullback after a huge run-up in which it went to $47,000. This mostly due to three things. Now, of course, you've been following the crypto news. You know that the Bitcoin spot ETF has been in the news. There are a whole bunch of different applicants, about 8 different applicants that are ready and hoping to have their spot Bitcoin ETF applications approved by the United States SEC. Now, the United States SEC has a war on crypto currently, as does most of the United States government. So actually having these approved and go through would be massive for the crypto community. Now, some people within the crypto community do think ETFs are not going to be a good thing overall, but that's not what I'm going to be talking about here. So let's get into some of the news and what caused these drastic price movements of Bitcoin. If you remember last week, there was actually a crater in which Bitcoin dropped, about $4,000 in a matter of about an hour. This was all due to basically some fake news where somebody had put out an article stating that the SEC was rejecting all Bitcoin applications. Now, what that website came back and said was, well, they were just speculating. It was just one person's opinion. It wasn't actual news. Well, somebody took it as actual news and they ran with it and spread it. And of course, that caused a major crater in the Bitcoin price. Now, of course, later that price came right back up as people were realizing that this wasn't an official decision by the SEC. So a lot of people talking about the price of Bitcoin and having the ETF approvals priced in. Well, based on what happened last week and based on what happened yesterday with the rise of Bitcoin's price, I think there's going to be some volatility if these ETFs, even if just one of them gets approved, is going to happen. Now, that's not a hot take. There's actually a lot of analysts out there that are basically saying a similar thing, that if these approvals go through, there will be an initial spike. But it's what's going to happen after that that is going to be foretelling the future of Bitcoin's price for probably the next several months, if not the first half of 2024. So what had happened? Well, all of the applications were into the SEC. The SEC were giving their final comments, and according to some analysts, we're basically just dotting all the I's and crossing all the T's and making sure these Bitcoin spot ETF applicants were doing everything that the SEC has wanted. Well, the final comments came in yesterday, in which the applicants had to update their filings yet again and send them back to the SEC yet again. And according to Eleanor Tourette of Fox Business, some of the people that she's been in contact with who received those comments from the SEC said it doesn't look like there's anything of a delay in nature. It doesn't look like the SEC is changing direction in any way. Basically, they just had to answer some questions, and the news came out that this had to do with fees, management fees of this ETF. And by the way, if you want to know, BlackRock is going ahead and forging the wars to these management fees at a 0.2% management fee for their Bitcoin ETF, undercutting ARK Invest's spot Bitcoin ETF management fee of 0.25. Now, these were recently cut from 0.8% that ARK Invest had originally put out. Now, this is going to be a very cutthroat product once this is actually approved. Now, how close is it to actually getting approved? Well, some people point to the article or some of the comments that Gary Gensler, the head of the SEC, recently put out, in which he was basically giving investors warnings to investing in cryptocurrencies, which, of course, a lot of people would say this is just FUD. A lot of other people would say, well, this is just what he has to say because he knows the inevitability of this being passed, and he has to give fair warning to people investing in something that, well, let's face it, I don't think he likes, or at least he's being paid not to like. I'm not sure which it is right now. But in any case, we have BlackRock that has already seeded their Bitcoin ETF with about $10 million worth of Bitcoin, and news just broke yesterday that Van Eck, which is another Bitcoin ETF applicant, has seeded their Bitcoin fund with $72 million worth of Bitcoin. In Bitwise, which is yet another ETF applicant, is rumored to be seeding theirs with approximately $200 million worth of credit, which that is actually going to be coming from Pantera Capital Management. So as these Bitcoin ETF applicants are basically getting ready to announce their Bitcoin ETF, which could be traded as soon as Thursday, which was another announcement that was causing all kinds of headlines and stirs in the cryptocurrency community. And yet, as all of that was going on, there's still no official approval. Let me know in the comment section down below if you think Thursday is going to be the day where there is going to be a Bitcoin ETF actually announced. Or if you think there's going to be a delay, or if you think this is all just exit liquidity being pumped into the market by some of the bigger Bitcoin whales. Because I've been in this market long enough to know that that is not out of the realm of possibility. Now on this channel, I've been talking about how there is a potential pullback in the cryptocurrency price, Bitcoin prices, the altcoin market for possibly all of this quarter in 2024. Now, I've said that last quarter, and there was a little bit of a pullback, but not nearly to the level that I thought it could go. I thought $30,000 was still in play, and even though it pulled back and touched $40,000 a few times, it really didn't have a major pullback. Now that you have the Bitcoin ETF making headlines, I don't know that it's going to come back much more. However, you did see a big price spike. There's going to be some consolidation, some pullback in the markets. What are the altcoins doing? The altcoins jumped right along with Bitcoin. Now, I saw somebody else say that, well, because Bitcoin climbed so much, once it consolidates, you're really going to see a lot of these altcoins pop off. Well, they actually grew at the same rate as Bitcoin did yesterday. In fact, many of the altcoins and some of the real small market caps grew even more. There were some meme coins that jumped 30-40% in a day. There were some of the other smaller altcoins like Matic, Cardano. They were all moving at about 10, 11, 12%. XRP was up about 5%. Of course, XRP always seems to be the slowest one when it comes to improving prices. So in the comment section down below, let me know if you think this crypto market is going to have any kind of pullback, or if you think these ETFs are going to be approved and it's going to be up only season from here for the next 2 years, or if there could be a big price increase and then a pullback for several months, which is kind of the camp that I'm in. I think Bitcoin could hit 50,000, even 55,000 on the initial news of an approval, and then spend the next month and a half pulling back down to 40, 45,000, but we will have to see. If you are a trader, if you trade Bitcoin, even if you just buy at spot, you can do so on Fairdesk, which is the exchange that I am partnered with here on the Late Night Grind community. And I wanted to let you know something. If you're an active trader, one of the things that you should be keeping your eye out for is fees, trading fees. And on Fairdesk, they are some of the lowest. In fact, if you contact me, if you have any kind of volume whatsoever, I can probably get you some of the lowest trading fees in all of the industry. You can contact me on X. You can also contact me via the contact link in my YouTube profile. You can email me there as well. I'll get you some of the lowest fees. Also, if you are new to Fairdesk, go ahead and sign up for a new account, fund your account, and if you're one of the top 3 depositors this week, you'll get an extra $100 added to your account. All right, guys, it looks like the cryptocurrency bull market is in full swing, and I wanted to let you know I will be posting videos a lot more, especially recently. I really want to cover this Bitcoin ETF stuff, and of course, there is some more legal stuff regarding Ripple and the SEC, some of which could have implications, not just for XRP, but for some of the altcoin markets that I'm going to be getting into. I can't wait to cover this stuff because it is going to start to get fast and furious. All right, guys, let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think about this Bitcoin ETF. Is it FUD? Is it going to go through? Is it up only season? Let me know. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching this video all the way to the end, for smashing that thumbs up button. And as always, I'll see you guys on the next video.